भारत के स्वच्छ ऊर्जा मिशन को गति देने के लिए टाटा पावर सेल्सफोर्स का समझौता। देश भर में रूफटॉप सोलर, ईवी चार्जिंग और स्मार्ट ऊर्जा प्रबंधन व्यवसायों को डिजिटल मजबूती देने के लिए रणनीतिक सहयोग। भागीदारों और ग्राहकों के लिए सहज अनुभव सुनिश्चित करते हुए हरित ऊर्जा क्षमता का विस्तार तेजी और सटीकता के साथ करने के लिए टीमों को सक्षम बनाना। मुंबई, भारत, 6 मार्च 2025। भारत की सबसे बड़ी वर्टिकली इंटीग्रेटेड पावर कंपनियों में से एक टाटा पावर ने आज दुनिया की नंबर 1 AICRM कंपनी सेल्सफोर्स के साथ सहयोग की घोषणा की है। इस सहयोग का उद्देश्य टाटा पावर के तेजी से बढ़ रहे रूफटॉप सोलर, RTS, ईवी चार्जिंग और स्मार्ट होम सॉल्यूशंस व्यवसायों का डिजिटल रूपांतरण करना है। ये सहयोग भारत के नेट जीरो लक्ष्यों के अनुरूप टाटा पावर के दीर्घकालिक स्वच्छ ऊर्जा रोडमैप को और मजबूत करेगा। कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता, AI, ऑटोमेशन और डेटा आधारित इंसाइट्स की मदद से एक सुरक्षित, स्मार्ट और पूरी तरह एकीकृत स्वच्छ ऊर्जा इकोसिस्टम विकसित करने पर इसका विशेष जोर रहेगा। ये प्लेटफॉर्म नवीकरणीय ऊर्जा वैल्यू चेन में स्केलेबल ग्रोथ, भागीदारों और ग्राहकों के साथ गहरा जुड़ाव तथा संचालन में बेहतर दक्षता और उत्कृष्टता हासिल करने में मदद करेगा।
That currently is very much in flux, and I don't think we are here to discuss that. Basically, we would be very grateful if you keep the conversation to what we have gathered.
But how you look at, like, we have given the growth already, you have put up a growth in 27. So don't you think that will affect your plans?
See, we are talking about India, and we are talking about India. India has everything going for it at this point of time. See, geopolitical issues will happen across the world, and we will look at it and we will handle it as they come up. Nobody can predict what is going to happen ahead. But at this point of time, we are not seeing any reason to believe that our economic growth or the growth of the economy is going to be very badly impacted or anything of the sort. See, India is at a very good spot where demography is concerned, and the needs of the demography are such that growth is a given, because our average age is such that people still have a whole lifetime to spend, and those lifetimes also, by the way, are going up. The age, the average age to which we are productive and to which we live, both are going up. So to that extent, the economy is going to expand, and we don't have any doubts that we will expand.
First of all, the power sector today, as you use more of IT and OT, like SCADA is the OT system, you need to take precautions. You need to have the best of the solutions which are available to prevent any cyber attacks. And this is always an ongoing thing. We keep on learning about new solutions which are coming. And we always ensure that our IT and OT systems are fully segregated. So there is no connectivity between them, and whatever is there is very closely secured and monitored. So I think anything that you do, you have to take the precautions, and you have to take the advanced technology that have to be included when you are implementing these things. So this is something that is always an ongoing thing, and our teams are continuously, as also teams from other associate companies, they come and keep analyzing it and supporting us to ensure that there are no cyber attacks which impacts. There will be attacks, but we will not get impacted.
Yes, so I just wanted to say that every advance that we have made, there are always bad actors that are wanting to sort of use it for the wrong reasons. Now, that does not mean that we will not internalize and accept those advancements. We need to work hard to ensure security. It is one of the areas that we invest in a lot in order to ensure that we are not only monitoring security across the globe, that we are firewalling wherever there is anything happening, any incident happening, that we are taking due attention to ensure that it doesn't happen to us. But one of the major things that I feel, and because media is here, I'm talking about it, is that people also have to be very conscious. Because a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And if the weak link happens to be the human being, and here most of the time it's the consumer, and especially coming from banking services as I am, the consumer is the account holder. Now, if they allow what should I say, their details to be known by somebody, even yesterday, for instance, I got a call from somebody telling me that my account in State Bank is going to be frozen if I don't immediately, update my KYC. Even yesterday, and a person like me getting a call like that. Okay, now the thing is, if I'm going to entertain that call and if I'm going to, do things which are not required to be done, then it becomes a problem. So I feel, while cybersecurity from the side of the corporates, we are trying our level best in order to ensure that that is taken care of. The usage of the social media and what I would say naivety of people, that also is something that we should be talking about. Media should be talking about it. You should be talking about it, telling people that it is also their responsibility to ensure that they are aware enough not to allow these things to happen, not to allow these attacks to happen, to not be so trusting that somebody calls you and you give everything to them. That is not the way we want people to behave. You have to use your discretion to realize that this is what I'll do and this is what I'll not do. And simple measures, like if you have the phone number of your branch manager or some other people in the branch, call them and ask them whether this thing is really true, this KYC requirement. Why is somebody calling you on the phone and asking for this? Very simple measures that everybody can take, but none of us do. So, raising awareness, I would request the media wherever they can, please raise this awareness amongst people so that, these risks can be mitigated.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir. My name is Saurabh Mukherjee, and I represent ANI News Business. I have two questions. One is for ma'am and one is for sir. Ma'am, you said that with the presentations, India ranked third in AI competitiveness, and its Indian AI market is projected to reach 20 billion by 2020. Right? Apart from that, with the market momentum, you also mentioned India's AI market is projected to reach $17 billion by 2027. However, there are threats and there are concerns related with AI when it comes to job security, and people are not that confident enough what will happen to them when the job is being taken by AI. So I would like to know your opinion on it. What exactly is the scenario, and how much afraid is the IT sector and the staffs, and what needs to be done on that basis? Sir, to you, this is related with the energy sector. I'm not going to ask the question on the West Asia conflict and all, but somewhere it has an impact on the energy sector too, especially with the commodity, the crude oil, and many other things that we import from the West Asia. On the energy transition, most of the electricity that is generated still is dependent on the coal, and the coal, most of the coals through which the energy is generated is imported from foreign countries. It's like if I include the name from Australia, because the anthracite coal is the best coal that is used for the energy transmission. Apart from that, means like when you speak about the clean energy transition, how much of it will be in the current scenario is in use, means like it's still being processed, and it's like people are getting to know all about it. And with this peak summer trending, and it's like the demand of electricity will be there. How are you looking at this situation? and how are you looking at this transition? Thank you.
Okay, so regarding this loss of jobs and things like that, as I already said, that every time there is a leap in technology, the nature of jobs change. Okay? So when the motor car came about, there were a lot of questions what would happen to the stables and the grooms and the coachmen and stuff like that. Now the stables and the grooms and the coachmen have all disappeared, but you have garages and drivers. Okay. Now what happens when the drivers also disappear? Alright? What happens to them? Well, they will do jobs which definitely will be of a nature that is better than what they are doing today. Because if you look at even recent times, there was a time when I used to have a typist, alright? And I used to dictate to them, they used to take it down in shorthand and then type and give it to me, and I would correct and give it back to them, and that's how it used to work. This is as recent as, say, in the mid-90s. I used to have a shorthand typist with me. Now today we don't have any shorthand typist. But the lady who assists me now does a lot more work, in the sense that she is not only putting together my schedule, she knows all the people that I work with, she is monitoring my daily, she monitors regularly as to how many customers are meeting, how much internal meetings am I doing, what is the amount of time that is available for me for my own things like trainings and internal issues. So she's monitoring things of a much higher quality. It's not that my assistant has disappeared, she's still there, okay? But she does work which is now of a quality which is much superior to what the shorthand typist was doing. Alright? Now this transition has meant that she has obviously upskilled herself. She now knows how to manage all of these systems that are there, and she gets the data out of all of that. So similarly, where AI is concerned, what it will do is, it will take the drudge job out of people's, having people to do it. Okay, from their daily routines, the drudge pieces will go. But the pieces that need you to use your mind, the pieces that need you to actually apply your mind and determine how you go or what you do, that piece still remains. So the jobs will be there, the jobs will change, and in fact, many more jobs will be created. Because today, on account of the fact that we are such a populous nation, a lot of our requirements are not met. Why do you think Amazon is delivering into villages? Today, because there is a need over there, and they have the ability to fulfill that need also. Now, there was no way of fulfilling that need. Today, that way of fulfilling the need has been met by Amazon being able to deliver to almost any pin code in the country. Okay? So there is unmet demand all across the country. Now, as you meet that demand, what happens is economic activity goes up, right? Today, for instance, if I'm sitting in a village, the kind of healthcare that I get leaves much to be desired. Now, if I'm able to deliver much better healthcare by using AI and using AI to send the data across in a digitized format to a place where experts are staying, surely if the quality of healthcare goes up, I will need more and more of it, I will use it in a preventive manner, thereby I will reduce the amount of sick days that I have, I will reduce my, the risks to my health, I will live longer and healthier, and I will be creating jobs in the process. So I think, this narrative of job losses is something that we should not be sort of, concentrating so much on. Rather, the narrative we should be concentrating on is, what do I do in order to ensure that I am using AI to the best of my ability? You need to lean in rather than, be scared and lean out. You need to see how it is empowering you. In your own area, how is it making you better? Is it helping you with research? Is it helping you in getting data? Is it helping you in doing something faster? But does that mean that you give everything away to it and you don't use your mind at all? No. Because your style is your style. And you want to ensure that you contribute to whatever you are doing in your own style. So I think we have to learn to work differently. The way we have learned to work till now is probably not the way in which we will work in a few years' time. So while we are doing that transition, it's not going to be painless, huh? It's going to be a little painful, but it is something that we need to do in order to be able to be more productive and more efficient. And we can do that.
You mentioned about energy, so let me first of all separate. Energy and power are two separate things. Now, in the power sector in India, most of the power that we produce in India is coal-based, nearly 70%. And the coal is primarily Indian coal, so it's not that we are getting imported coal. The imported coal is a very small quantity, not even 5% of the coal requirement. So 95% is Indian coal. The second is there is a lot of clean energy solutions which have been implemented. Today we have out of 510 gigawatt, nearly 260 gigawatt is clean energy, which is solar, wind, hydro, nuclear, and that is already established, and that does not require any more supply chain. For the new plants that we are setting up for solar, the modules are all made in India. The cells, 50% is made in India, but rest of it comes from Southeast Asia. So it's not that we are going to be very badly impacted. So I think as a country we are all geared up. You have seen during COVID period also, whatever was the power requirement, the country met it. Similarly, after COVID and then the conflict was there between Russia and Ukraine, we have been able to manage. Many of the countries globally have suffered because of they were dependent on some other countries for gas and all. We did not have those issues. So I think as a country we are quite insulated from many of these things which are happening externally, and we will be able to meet our power requirement, whatever be the requirement this year, whether it is 270 or 280 or 290. And the Indian power system, the grid and the last mile connectivity is very well geared up to meet the summer requirement.
I think actually India did better on the renewable energy than the goals set by the government. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have achieved the target, the NEC goal that we had set up ourselves for 2030. We've already done it for 2025.
Actually, the utility companies have been hugely well, the generating companies also. On the renewable side, we have actually outdone whatever were the commitments that were made. We have gone far ahead of it.
So why I said this is like majorly the public sector generational energy generation companies are based or are dependent on the coal. That is why I asked this question, and it's like and the generation of power is supplied to the states, especially in the summer. It's quite high. The requirement are quite high, but the supply is not that much. So based on that, what's your take that I wanted to know?
So, for last few years, the country has enough supply. There is never a shortage of supply, and we virtually meet 100%. If the supply does not take place, it may be because of local fault or the financial condition of the utility over there. But in terms of our generation capability, in terms of what gets produced and supplied, we have adequate capacity and there is no shortage.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sinha, and thank you so much, ma'am.